Hi, you guys. It's really nice to see you. It's been a while. Shall I bring you up to stream? Notice how fat my face is? Well, it's from the steroids. If you look at my old videos, you'd be so shocked. I think it's funny because I actually look younger. Because there's something about cancer medications, which is steroids, that make your face look, oh, this computer is being overloaded with all these stupid, important cybersecurity and that. They just always like to bug you when you're doing your stream. I want to give you a heads up on a new book that you can write yourself. And it's called Trolls. Isn't that cute? I love it. Well, I wanted to give you an update and let you know that they've contained my cancer, which means that they've contained the tumor that's below my navel. I've joined the Naval Academy. No. Anyways, so what the whole thing is they've contained the cancer, and so now what we're looking at is the leg. Now, I'm quite constipated right now. I'm really full of it. Anyways, the tumor is right here. Here's my spine. The spine. Here's my hip, and the tumor is here. And it's got a mass that goes here. I know, I'm due with my pregnancy in less than 24 hours. Oh, God. You know, you can't control everything. And these are one of the realities of cancer, is that, you know, there's certain cancers that will affect your nervous system and your bathroom system, which is horrible. I don't have a fancy channel, I must say, and probably because I don't have any fancy skills. I'm an artist, but I really don't have any fancy skills per se. But very few people. And it's been okay. I find that it's safer that way, because when you're going through a possibility that you might die, it's very it's something. So to be honest with you, I did get a good meeting with both my top doctors. Having them in the same room, I think, was just the privilege amongst privileges beyond. And they had said that they felt good about my prognosis, although the leg. So the tumor had affected the leg to where I am paralyzed from basically the knee, the mid-thigh down. And it's a weird paralyzing because it's very numb, and at times it's very cold because the circulation isn't very good. So having said that, the doctor said we're going to keep going through the chemotherapy, and that's going to continue on. Radiology will continue on Monday to Friday for the next 4 weeks. I've had 2 weeks, and I'm on my 3rd week ending now. And it's been okay. I don't feel any side effects. I don't think I've really had any significant weight gain. The only thing I do find is that, of course, when you're going through cancer, your looks will change. They will change dramatically. Absolutely dramatically, whether you like it or not. And I noticed that when I cut all my hair off before I knew I had cancer, because I'm going to be 60 in a year and 4 months. And I wanted my 60th birthday to be my natural hair. I have quite a bit of gray there. You can't really see it. Yeah, not now. But I wanted to grow my hair out for my 60th birthday and not color my hair anymore, because I've been studying what coloring your hair does. Now that chemical goes down in through your brain and it gets processed, all the way down, goes through your system, all your organs, and it can give you lymphatic cancer. So I really looked this stuff up, because when I had a really sore leg, like brutal, I realized that I needed to make some changes, and especially since the doctors weren't finding what was wrong with me. And that had been going on since July the 1st. So what happens with the tumor that I have, it has cut off all the nourishment to the left leg, which is the nervous system, all the nerves, and it's really played havoc with my circulation. So we're waiting to see, after this last 2-3 weeks of chemo, see where we're going after the chemo's finished and the radiation, to see what has happened with the leg. They had suggested that I go see there's a special kind of doctor, and I can't remember what the name is. When you're on your own and you get to see these specialists, it's scary, because you have to retain the information that they give you. And sometimes it's not easy to retain, because you don't know how to explain it to other people, or to even yourself, or what the right questions are, while you're going through this. So we're going to wait, and then I'll see a vein doctor, see if they can repair the damage that the tumor has done. And perhaps, they've contained the cancer, they've repaired the they've repaired the veins, and maybe I might be back to a normal life. The tumor is malignant, hasn't changed. They've contained it. It hasn't moved anywhere else, which they were really worried about, because if it had gone above the belt line, then for sure I was going to be having to have a real fight on my hands. And you know what? Something like this, the mind, body, and soul, your mind, your soul, your body, all of your body, your trunk, they have all separate mechanisms on their own. So your emotions, your mentality, all of it, it's all separate. But I truly believe, other than the treatment that I'm getting medically, that really my treatment is to be closer to God. That's what I chose. And I know it might sound kind of funny to some people, God really is a decision within every individual on this earth, on whether you want to believe there is a God. There is a purpose in your life. There is many, many things that you are yet to discover, and the obvious will come to the plate for you. And for me, I'm going to be really very emotionally intimate here with you. My childhood was very, very, very bad, and it really was in the nest of my life. My mother, my father, and the only two people that I knew, which was my older brother that was taken, and my younger brother that I lived with in foster care, and on and off with my mother and my grandmother. My father wasn't in the picture, because my mother, she had a lot of control, and she used that control to hurt my father. Consequently, my father passed away very young, only 62. And it was with, his inability to cope. So he self-medicated. He drugged himself, partied, that kind of life. Wine, women, and song. So as I grew up, I learned a lot of different hardships. I learned about abandonment by family and also abandonment of myself. And these are the things that I think that come up and come about with cancer, is when we continue on this life journey and we don't change, these are the things that constantly feed our soul. If we make that decision, that's what we're going to do. And this was something that I realized that I didn't know about myself. I found more comfort in the pain that I knew than I knew about power. The power was to live my best life, help myself, educate myself, learn as much as I could, feed myself, exercise, give myself little presents, and sleep well, and learn to love again. I'm so sorry, but there's many of us, that's all we know. That's all we care to take. There's two plates here, right? There's a plate of beautiful food ready for you to take. You're on your own, you're here. And then there's that plate, that beautiful food, right? And yet there's somebody that walks by and you say, oh, that person looks really poor. They look hungry. So we take that plate and we share it with them, and we don't know them, right? But to have that one plate that was for us, for you to learn that it's okay. It's okay to turn off those other people, those other things about family that abandon you, that hurt you, because we're so accustomed as children to be protectors when we have no one to protect us. You chose to be an empathetic person, a loving person to other people, and you stretched that elastic band like this, right? Beautiful elastic band. It's made to just cover a certain amount of, value. And then we come along. Here, it could be even a troll. We come along and we hurt ourselves by expanding this elastic band. And for what reason? We didn't need to. All we needed to do was love ourselves. Oh my God, I hate this. I hate it when, you're doing a live stream and something interrupts your live stream. It's terrible. There we go. I'm back. So what happens is we stretch and stretch and stretch that elastic band, and we had no reason to do that. So come back and don't wrap those trolls anymore. Don't wrap that. That's none of your business. That's a learned behavior. It's not good for you to be constantly, deferring your responsibility for yourself. And leads to addiction, alcoholism, gambling, overeating, anorexia. It's deferred pain. We don't know anything else but to pick pain rather than pick pleasure. And pleasure isn't just feel good. It's accomplishment. What it is it's growing. It's learning to turn the tap off, turn the light out, save your energy. And I'm talking about the kind of energy that was meant to give you your strength, your feeling of you did a good day. Because all we have is one day, 24 hours. And that day, we have to nourish ourselves. We have to educate ourselves. And I don't say we have to. These are the things that are brought to us on every single level. We're learning. We're learning so much that we don't even know what we're learning, because there are subconscious situations that come to us, and they're kind of like gifts, gifts of understanding not who that person is, what that problem is, what the community is understanding who you are, your ability to say, I think I'm going to really look after myself today. I'm going to go for a walk, And sometimes we won't go for a walk. We'll get on the phone and we'll talk to the most dysfunctional person, listen to their problems for an hour. For what reason? If it's an exchange, then it's fair. But if it's just one person who's down here and you're right here and you're in a good situation, why do you choose to go down here? You have to ask yourself, when you are with that other person, that it's better to come up, race each other equally, instead of rescuing, because rescuing is what is getting all of us in deep trouble. And I believe that there are some R's that are really bad. Rescuing, retrieving, rejecting. There are all sorts of R's I bet you could choose, you could put on the table about what's in your life. And this is where I'm coming from. One area about my cancer that I must say is that we were brought onto this earth truly, truly, to learn two things. And I wonder if many of you know what those two things are. Well, I can tell you what it is for me. It's about believing that there is truly a religion, a reality of what God has brought you here. Well, there's only one God for me, but I must tell you, through all of this life that we live, we learn, and we learn about what makes us strong, what has helped us, what has taken us away from sin. And I mean, it could be something that we all know that is wrong, sleeping with our best friend's husband or our girlfriend's boyfriend, or stealing from a store, or doing drugs with somebody and getting away from your basic reality of life, and getting in there and turning the key, getting into a car stoned, drunk, abandoning our daily chores, for staying up late, and just self-will run riot. So the two things are sin and spirituality, I guess, in my own mind. It's choosing to live a really good life, choosing to allow yourself to have that good plate of food, allowing yourself not to go back to that pain, because that pain is just repetition on a daily 365 days. And we keep choosing. We wonder, why did the 6 months go by so fast? Well, I'll tell you why it went by so fast. Because instead of choosing to clean up your home, to clean up yourself, you don't need that alcohol. You don't need those drugs. You don't need that pot. And the only reason why you're smoking pot is you're justifying it because you say you need it because you have PTSD. Well, what is PTSD? PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. But really, PTSD is just putting blame in another place. It's going back to the past and choosing pain again. Why do we do it? It's repetition, and it's avoidance. Avoidance is one of the biggest things that happens to us. So we develop bad habits. We develop sabotage. We develop illnesses. Illnesses, yes, we do. We develop pains. We develop we develop ways to draw attention to ourselves, hoping that someone will take care of ourselves because we're not putting the responsibility in the right place with yourself. Yes. So I've chosen this time with my cancer, and although I got some good news, they contain the cancer. It could pop up at any time, at any age. You know, it really can, because these illnesses are portholes to hell. The devil wants you to feel so sorry for yourself, wants you to be so dependent on people, and people will let you down every single time. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your best friend. And this is all learned behavior on putting all our trust in one place, whereas there's no place to put your trust except with God and within yourself. If you were going to do something that you knew you had to be absolutely sure that you were going to survive, would you give that responsibility to somebody else, and you don't really know on whether they understand how important it is to make that situation perfect so you don't fall or die or get injured? So this is what I chose to do. In the next couple of weeks, I've decided that even though I got a clean bill of health, I've chosen to look at my life in such a way as turning the page to a new beginning. And that's my relationship with God. Because for years and years, I had not had a real relationship with Christ. And Christ is our brother. He's not our father. These are some things that we need to learn about. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. These are our Father and our Mother Mary and our family. Our family is up there. This is our blood family. They will let us down. This is about your relationship with God, because there is another place that we're bound for. And this earth is a testing ground. It's the ground that, we have to learn. And God is looking at us. He's looking at us to see if we are truly, if we are beholden to Him, loving Him. Oh, I don't know what happened here. I noticed that the light was going out. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. So these are the things that I'm doing. I've been collecting all my photographs. I'm going to show you. I don't have a lot of photographs. It's funny how I went ahead and I lived 58 years and I never bothered taking a bunch of pictures. And I'm actually happy that I didn't, My younger years, I was just a young woman, So I'm doing a little memory board. Here's the last time I cut my hair really short. This was when I had my brain tumor removed. Wow. I was 48 here, I think. No, 38. 38, 40, 58. Yeah, so 20 years ago was when I had my my pituitary tumor removed. Not bad, eh? Anyways, the face swells up when you take steroids, and you have to take them because a steroid at this situation is it really helps you with the pain. So I'm going to do a little memory card, a memory board of my life, because I know that my mother's not going to do it. My mother's 80. Her time, you never know what's going to go on there. So this one, I was Miss North Shore The Squamish Nation princess. I won. All the things that you go through in your life, what it was like, you know, growing up, living your life, doing what you can, all of that. I had a modeling career. It was lovely. I only used the modeling to basically take myself to the next level of my education. I really wanted to. I really just wanted to learn. I was very, very lucky. I wasn't stuck in that ego part of life because I always believed in God. But you know, from all the abuses that I went through in my life, I believe that it took me down very hard. And this is if you've been a serious person in your life and you've experienced catastrophic abuse like I had with my mother's denial and being very stuck with like overlooking your family. I was always like that. I was always like the protective person in my family, rescuing them and always being there when they needed me, and again, abandoning my life. So what I really want you to do is not so much focus on me and my cancer or my story. What I really want to do and share with you is how important it is to claim your life back. And that means really, truly, emotionally and mentally. The physical will follow. You know, the spirituality, if you can really try and break that down for yourself and pick something that appeals to you in spirituality. It may have been a grandmother that read to you, you know. It may have been, some of you may have had a really beautiful mother and father. It may have been your first experience in Sunday school, what it was like to live in a clean, wholesome environment. Or, you know what? It may have been, again, the pain plate. It's up to you. It's very important that you find you. This is why I'm doing these videos. I'm 58 years old. I've never been married. I have no children. I'm in a very fortunate situation that I have the time. I've had the awareness. This is what you call a spiritual awareness. So if you honestly can, try and make a true inventory of yourself. Are you stuck? Is there stuff in your childhood that you haven't dealt with? Is there an ex-husband that is bringing you down, or have you done something to him, or have you done something to yourself? Can you take that time and live your best life, the cleanest, most wholesome, loving life? Can you find it? Because I have. Everything that I ever did that I knew was going to hurt me, and I quit smoking weed. I had a relationship with pot, and it was terrible. I never, ever, ever gave myself a really good life without it. Not a pretty lipstick. It's all about really, truly, I do believe in loving yourself, finding that core within yourself, and finishing up with it fast. This is the time. You've got COVID. You have to wear these bloody masks. This is the time to really, really, really find the best you in you. And that means quitting smoking. You don't need that lung to be poisoned with cigarettes and later to get lung cancer or bladder cancer. This is a time to quit drinking. You don't need alcohol to poison your bladder and poison your kidneys. You don't need it. And the same thing goes with overeating and not eating the proper food, staying away from fast food. A lot of it is just, it's not good for you, you know, really, truly. All these foods that just don't give it to you. Somebody said to me today, and I was really happy that they did, they talked to me about wheatgrass, how important it is to eat certain foods and learn about them, how they will cleanse your system. If you ever notice a dog, when he's feeling sick, bothering him. Well, a Persian man on my way home from the ride from the hospital, he told me to go and get some wheatgrass and make it into a smoothie and drink it. Well, you know what? I'm going to do that starting tomorrow. I'm going to, or look on the internet and see if I can find some wheatgrass seeds and grow it myself and take a snipping and put it in with my my juicer. So please, if there's anything that I really want you to get out of this, and 58 years, let's say I didn't make it 6 months from now, you know, I passed away. I've had a lot more years than people who used drugs and alcohol. I've given myself the best life of not covering anything up, but being real, having the real truth. The truth shall set you free. So if you can, take that inventory. Are you living in sadness? Are you living in poverty? Are you living in a mess? Are you a hoarder? I am. Craft stuff. I got a bunch of stuff I know I don't need. I can look at it over. I can look at it at a distance, and understanding that, you know, I deserve to give myself all the beautiful things that I gave other people, years and years of it. Furniture and clothing and bedding and doing their animals. And I was running myself ragged. I wasn't giving to myself. And I think this is what cancer is. Cancer. It's a wake-up call to find yourself, find God. This is what it truly is. Now the computer is going to turn off again. So I'm going to end this stream, and I'm going to wish you all the best and hope that you get the message out of here. Love yourself. Please love yourself. Find the poison that is contributing to your discontent, because you have the opportunity to find happiness. Find that sliver that you don't know about yet. It's there. It's ready for the plucking and taking out. So love you all. Please love yourself. And I'm going to love Shannon. And I'm going to continue on. I'm going to bring you a little bit more updates, but I want you to find that love that's with you and God. It's there. So bye, everybody. Take care. Find that place. And if God has called your name, you know, he's called your name. There's a better place. But our place is here to learn, because God wants us to learn. I love you, Lord. I love God, our Father, Mother Mary. Blessings to all the animals in the world and all those who are suffering in one way or another from their own decision making. Amen. See everybody. It's always hard to leave with this computer. So see if I can turn it off.